Okay, I'll just turn the radio off, sorry about that, I've got the radio on in the background. Just a quick look for you through my latest book. This one has got buttons on the front and two like dangly button combination thingies going on the side. Now on the inside here, I don't normally hide the workings, I quite like to see the workings. It's kind of like, I see it as evidence of the handmade. But I wanted to do a bit of collage on the inside of here with stitched papers, and I just put it there just because the button ties were there, and not for any particular reason, but I think it works well there anyway. So that's what that is, so you can't see the button ties. Now this book is more substantial, I think, than the three I did more recently. I'm not sure if they had more pages, but they didn't have as much considered work in them, in terms of quite a lot of surface embroidery going on. This one's got silk velvet, cotton cloth and lace, a lot of French knots, a lot of bullion knots, it's got little seed beads in there, and it's got this lovely crocheted ball button thing that I bought. I didn't make it, I bought it, and that's stitched to the front there. And like I say about the workings, you can see here, these are ties that pertain to what's going on this side. So, you know, I'm not really hung up on the workings. Like I say, I quite like them. It's got ribbon stitched down, French knots there, lovely paper collage here, and under here, this is lace with stitched paper, French knots up the page and across the page. So there's more intensity to this one, I think. I had so much fun making the last three. I got a bit carried away with this one. And this grey graph paper, see, look, workings. Okay, don't mind, they're workings. You can't have a handmade book that's got stitch samples in without having stitching visible, I don't think. And that's part of the appeal to me. But here you've got graph paper, which is just normal like printer paper, so you couldn't paint on it with wet paint or anything. Well, you could, but it would just buckle and be horrible. You write notes on there, like you could write on there, Karen's left the back of this page like a right dog's dinner. She said she doesn't mind, but I don't like it. That kind of thing. Anything you like. This is just two fabric swatches with some waste canvas with 4 cross stitches on it, and I've left the waste canvas on because I like the texture of that. The button at the top of that page, because there's a button, I'll show you in a minute. This one, stitched paper again with a bit of torn paper there, blue. It's blue and white this. Don't think there's anything going on in here apart from blues, shades of blue and grey and white. So dark blue paper torn off and put under there just as a contrast. And that's that button there, because there's buttons going on here. So there's one there, and then this collage paper here, buttons again. And then this one, more paper collage here. This one is lace, padded applique, really lovely soft white cotton, this fabric. It's got glass beads stitched onto the fabric, so I've extended them so they hang off. I've got a bit of a thing for dangly things at the minute, in case you haven't noticed. Now this one, this page was just this stitched paper, and again workings up here from the previous page. I did a thread wrap card, and more good luck, definitely not good management, but then I put this on so it should be like flying about like that, and then I thought, oh actually that sits in there, so that like makes a little pocket for that card. This one, I love this one. I think what I love about this one is I love the velvet. It's my new addiction, is silk velvet. But I love the contrast with this blue beady thing going on that's the same as the ones on the spine. And these just 3 little beads tied on there. Buttonhole lace, French knots, bullion knots, French knots. And then this one, there's more grey graph paper there. A gimp wrap card that's got a very, very basic colour study alongside it. If you're gonna, my next class, which is the ledger class, in that we do proper intense colour studies, but this is just a very basic one. And again, stitched papers here, it's the texture. You know, I'm just having a big thing about texture at the moment. And then the final page is this little white piece of lace cloth. So it's cotton scrim, with silk habitai that's got writing on it that I wrote, but you can't read it because it's distorted. Within the spaces on the scrim, there's a little bit of texture and some French knots. And then these stenciled letters spell out white. That's the W-H-I-T-E. Okay. And again, you can see workings from the previous page. And then just to finish it off, some more collaged paper. So that's that one. So I hope you like that little tour through my little book.